Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to today's webinar on emerging career opportunities for life sciences graduates in India's Pharma GCCs. Let me welcome our faculty today, Dr. Subodh Satheesh, who is Assistant Professor and Controller of Examinations at IIHMR Bangalore. We are proud to highlight Dr. Subodh Satheesh, an esteemed faculty member at IIHMR Bangalore, who brings expertise in pharmaceutical science, public health research, and digital health innovation. With a strong academic and research background, he is dedicated to shaping the future of healthcare leaders. Dr. Subodh Satheesh has over 9 years of professional experience in research and academics. He completed his PhD in pharmaceutical sciences, where he provided crucial training to healthcare workers on assessing diabetic foot complications, ensuring effective management and prevention strategies. To his credit, he has published more than 20 research and review articles in peer-reviewed national and international journals and presented research papers at conferences. His area of expertise is pharmaceutical supply chain, market research, advanced screening and management technologies in diabetic foot ulcers, public health and research as well. Let's talk about his contributions at IIHMR Bangalore. Guiding students through industry-aligned healthcare management education, researching and developing innovative digital health strategies, collaborating with healthcare organizations to bridge the gap between academia and industry. With a passion for bridging pharmaceutical sciences, healthcare technology, and public health, Dr. Subodh plays a key role in preparing the next generation of healthcare professionals. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Poonamji.
Let me walk you all through a very short campus tour to give you a brief idea about life at IIHMR Bangalore. Allow me a moment. Thank you, everyone. I would like to request Subodh sir to
Yeah.
kindly walk us through the program and hand it over to
Right.
Subodh sir.
Right. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's session. So, it's a pleasure to connect with you all on behalf of IHMR Bangalore, a premium institution dedicated to excellence in healthcare and management institution. So, we would also like to kind of share a little bit about our special program, which is a 2-year specialization in pharmaceutical management. So, I'll just share my slides. I hope this is visible, Poonamji.
Yes, sir, it is
Yeah,
visible.
right. So IHMR Bangalore is coming up with a 2-year specialized program in pharmaceutical management from 2026. So this program is dedicated especially for the pharma and life sciences graduates. Along with that, anyone in any background can actually apply for this program. So to talk a little bit about IHMR Bangalore, IHMR Bangalore is the sister concern of IHMR Jaipur, and we have over 2 decades of legacy in health management institution, conducting multidisciplinary research, providing training and consulting in healthcare management. So, the major milestones in the journey of IHMR Bangalore, we were established back in 2004, got the ACT approval back in 2010, and IHMR Bangalore is the first academic institution in South India for NABH consultancy and also to get NABET accreditation. Back in 2017, we started new specialization HIT. In 18, we got MBA equivalence with AIU, Association of Indian Universities, and we started a new specialization in pharma management in 2020 as a part of our HHM specialization. In 2022, we started a new operation in ADMIRE. 23, we started fellow program in management, and in 2025, we got a NAC A grade, and our PGDM in artificial intelligence and data science in healthcare started back in 2024. So these are the key divisions of IHMR Bangalore: academics, research and consultancy, admire and training. And we were probably a lot of accolades from around the nation. So we were ranked 10th in Bangalore by Outlook, 12th by the week, and also we were awarded by Careers Gold and Gold Brand, Careers 360 Academic Insights and all over the period of time. So these are our most important, or what we can say, like our approved programs: PGDM in hospital and health management. That's where the specialized programs in hospital management, health information technology management, and pharmaceutical management. Before, this was a part of our HSM program. Now the pharmaceutical management comes as like a 2-year full-time specialization dedicated to pharma. So we also have PGDM in artificial intelligence and data science, which is a 2-year program, and a fellow program in management. So these are our accreditations. We are accredited by NAC A grade, AICT, AIU, and NBA. So, the highlights of our 2-year full-time program in pharmaceutical management is a campus. It is a campus offline program. It is spread over 4 semesters. A 7 years of industry exposure is there through summer training programs and dissertations. So, graduates of any educational background can apply for this program, and any valid management aptitude test score will be more than enough for eligibility in application. So I would like to kind of, tell you a little bit about our program structure. We cover areas like pharmaceutical and medical devices industry, practices in management, human resource management, project management in pharma industry, pharmacoepidemiology, product and brand management, digital social marketing management, HEOR, entrepreneurship, pharmaceutical international business, advertising and science management, consumer behavior, market access. So when it comes to the career opportunities in pharma and healthcare consulting, you can work as a research associate, knowledge management associate, competitive intelligence analyst, business analyst, MR analyst, associate consultant, and few of the key organizations like Cognizant, Clarivate. Cognizant specifically, since our speaker for today, Miss Veda Rana, is from Cognizant, and we have PricewaterhouseCoopers, IQVIA, and all. And when it comes to core pharma and medical devices company, you can work as a sales and marketing, supply chain, regulatory affairs into multiple roles. These are our regular recruiters in IIHMR Bangalore, from hospitals, pharma, and IT, and different sectors. Thank you. That's all about our 2-year PGDM full-time specialization program in pharmaceutical management. So coming back, so this all with this context, today's webinar becomes especially relevant because to help us understand how there is a shift in landscape of pharma and life sciences careers, particularly within the global capacity centers. So when it comes to the life science sector in India, it is undergoing a remarkable transformation. So that is one of those contributing factors is the growth and rise of pharma global capability centers. So initially they were considered just like a back-end support hubs, and today the Pharma GCCs has evolved into a high value innovation engine. So they are driving the capabilities of market through R&D, pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, digital health, regulatory affairs, of course, real world evidence analytics, and the AI and ML technologies, which is revolutionizing the industry. With global pharma companies increasingly choosing India as a strategic destination, so this is where the talent, infrastructure, and innovation from, of course, the life sciences graduates, the ones from the pharma, biotechnology, microbiology, or biochemistry, genetics, zoology. So how now they stand at the forefront of an exciting new career pathways. That is why we strongly believe this is one area which will be kind of revolutionizing the pharma industry. So to guide us through this evolving landscape, we are delighted to welcome Ms. Veda Rana, who is an esteemed professional whose expertise and industry insights will help you understand the changing expectations, the emerging roles and skills needed to thrive in India's rapidly expanding pharma GCC ecosystem. Um, Give me 1 second. Can you share the slides, Poonamji? Yeah. So we have with us Miss Veda Rana, who is working as a program manager, Cognizant, London, United Kingdom. Next slide, please. So she is a result-oriented professional with more than 11 years of experience in brand strategy, project management, content strategy, omni-channel marketing, and business development in pharma as well as the healthcare domain. So her key areas involve brand strategy, project management, and digital marketing. Uh, Before joining Cognizant, she was a part of AstraZeneca from 2019 to 22, where she led brand strategy for Betterlock, Imder. She had implemented omni-channel campaigns, managed promotional budgets, and drove patient-centric initiatives. Before that, she was a part of Novo Nordisk. She was instrumental in the launch of Novo 8 in India, where she developed market access strategies, executed disease awareness campaigns, and she has also worked as business development and marketing communications at various organizations like RX Prism, Indigene, and Insignia Communications. So it's my pleasure to have Ms. Veda Rana with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Subodh, for this lovely introduction and a very hearty welcome to everybody who is joining today for this webinar. We are much more grateful to you for giving us your time. There can be many other things that you could be doing on a wonderful Friday evening, and you're here for our session. Would it be okay, Dr. Subodh, that I share my screen?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Just let me know when you can actually see the screen.
Yeah, you can go for presentation mode.
No, I am already in the presentation mode. Can you see my screen?
I can see the screen. At the bottom half you have
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Can you see it now? Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
better?
Good to go.
Just wait a second now. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Very, very warm welcome today for the session that we are having today on emerging career opportunity for life sciences graduates in India's Pharma GCCs. Uh, what we are looking is not something that is just a change, but an opportunity that is coming our way, and there are many reasons for having it coming our way. So specifically, when I say our way, meaning to India as a country, by this pharma GCCs are opening up. It is not something which is just happening out of the blue. So what we're exploring today or covering in today's presentation is why this matters, these opportunities, um, GCCs, what is the kind of work that you could be looking for yourself beyond the office work, and it is not the back end work. Who is hiring? Who are the major players in this area? What are the career opportunities in these companies when it comes to domains and the roles that you can fit in? We are especially looking at the commercial and the marketing careers. How What kind of opportunities are there for the life sciences students out there? Skills that are required to get hired, kind of growth trajectory that can you be looking at, and then most importantly is sorry, I'll hide. Most importantly is a 5-step action plan that what you need could be doing, and if there are any questions which are at the end. But I'm more than happy if you have any questions on the way, any point of time, you can put it in the chat, or probably whatever way you can share it with the moderator, Dr. Shubodh, or the team, and we can go from there. So it's $1 million bet on the Indian talent to certain extent, to the larger extent, if we see. The overall GCC market in India is around $46 billion, and when across markets. And if you look at, and many GCCs, not only, it's not that it is specifically the GCCs is a followed up way of working only for pharma. So this itself is giving you a view that many companies are having their global capability center. GCC is a short form for the same, global capability centers being set up in India. Sometimes they are called business services, sometimes they're called uh, you know uh, digital services, transformation services. So the terminologies can be different, but it is primarily the global capability centers that are for across industries are set up in India. And out of that, it is around 9 billion opportunity that we see for the pharma GCs put together. Now, definitely in the next 6 to 7 years, in the next 5 years, not five, like 4 years, 2030, right? Which is we are already at the end of 2025. We see the trends that the growth could be doubling up from just being a 7 billion to be, let's say, around 14 billion market. So year on year there are transformations happening. It is creating new opportunities, and monthly there are 1,000 plus new roles created. Of course, these roles are not for pharma graduates. It is spanning many verticals. It is spanning across, let's say, mid to senior level roles as well. But today view is to give a landscape that how can you grab onto these opportunities early in your career as well. And if there is a view, if you have a view around the same, please do share as well. So what these global hubs are they just back-end office work, what Mr. Dr. Subodh was mentioning some time back? No, they are basically the strategic extension of the global pharma companies. So when you're working with these organizations, you are not looking at doing certain back-end workflows only or updating certain operations, but you are an extension of the strategic arm for that global pharma company. And this means owning up certain critical business function, completely deeply understanding those business functions that are automated, or sometimes they are very process driven. So you need to it's important that we understand those processes completely, and that gives us an edge in implementing those as well, right? So it gives a great space of partnership uh, for the with the global teams, where you have the global exposure, you drive innovation and strategy. You are not sitting only the as a company who is implementing those strategies. Because if you see the trend today, how it has happened in the past, when you are working in marketing roles, or let's say in sales role, or let's say also in the regulatory roles, pharmacovigilance roles, for any of the MNCs in India. Primarily, in the past, it has been more India centric, what you can do for that local market. But what GCs give is beyond that, an opportunity to upscale your learning at the global scale. So, what are the key drivers? Of course, I think the biggest driver, this is my feeling, the biggest driver for this change or the growth is uh, talent demand. They require the talent. India has that talent in terms of having the right set of people, uh, and the regulatory harmonization with with the guidelines that India has. How much we're able to follow, that's a different thing, but the guidelines that are set in India and in other countries also, now they are very streamlined. So it is ensured that even if you're in a different part of the country, there are ways to implement in a harmonized way. And first and foremost is the digital transformation. I think how the things have changed in the past 5 years, and with AI ML also coming up, it has become very, very easier to scale up, even at strategy level, in locations like India. So, not looking at the view from 2030, but let's look in the next 1 year. The reasons for these innovation from the cost perspective, of course, it makes sense to coming to India for driving R&D, AIML, or any digital transformation, and access to talent in data science, clinical research, and in engineering is which is the core for any GCC, is something which is with India. So, and if you want to de-risk your global operations, that you're not dependent on certain region or market only to function, so do you create that resilient framework? By having these global operations as well. Now, some of the companies have had, like to the likes of Novartis, had its GCC since 2014. Novo Nordisk had, not GCC, Novo Nordisk has its office for global services, I think in the early 2000s or so, or it's been more than 10 years that they existed. But they are transitioning from just being the back end office uh, to a level where the transformation, content creation, regulatory support, pharmacovigilance support, setting up any of the new frameworks is all done, is all executed in these global capability centers, or they want these to be as global capability center. Having myself working more on the content side of content creation side for the global companies, I would say many of the organizations are moving away from the model of working with an agency for creating the content, but having it an internal team for doing the same. And these teams are already existing within these organizations, but the scale of this is even getting larger. So as the scale of these get larger, that means more number of project managers are needed, more number of consultancy support, internal consultancy support is required for brands, because each brand has certain time frame of its launch, and accordingly you need to be prepared for the same. And at the same time, launches are very critical. If you look at Pfizer, Novartis, AstraZeneca, every most of the organizations are trying to pick the niche. That AstraZeneca, for example, is more become like an oncology company. Eli Lilly is more driven toward obesity management. Similarly, Novo Nordisk. So every organization is picking up where their niche is and then focusing on it. That means that the entire operations of the organization needs to build onto the commercial success of that one, of that portfolio of products. Giving up this, of course, many of you would already be knowing, but yeah, if we look largely that, South remains as a hub for global GCCs, with Hyderabad having for Novartis, Sanofi, AstraZeneca, BMS, Bangalore for GSK, Novo Nordisk, Roche, Pfizer Digital. There is a program with IIT Madras for that Pfizer is doing. Then AstraZeneca has their center as well in Chennai. Pune and Mumbai have also certain companies, GCC centers. Similarly, Delhi NCR, but largely these opportunities currently are in Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. If any of the team members or anybody has any questions, please do ask. Do not hesitate. I'll go to the next one. Now, what do we need to be knowing, or we have an advantage about on as well, is having global exposure, meaning if in your curriculum you're learning, let's say at the early stage, what are the FDA guidelines, what is the NICE guidelines, what are these GXP practices. These are basically the baseline for working in different roles. And if you are very well aligned in the early of your career, it makes your journey easier. So global exposure work on international projects like FDA and EMA, building world-class profile from day one, and escape the traditional model wherein you're move into R&D, data science, pharmacovigilance, or in digital health sort of roles. Innovation at the core, work at cutting edge technology when it comes to AI and drug discovery, digital therapeutics, be at forefront of the medicine, continuous learning on the different certifications that you get when you're working within these organizations. So these are certain merits of advantages of working in a large GCC or a MNC for that matter, that you get a global exposure. The path is very diverse. You can be learning about different operations and ways of working, because every team is trying to innovate and do things in a different way. But having that baseline in pharma marketing, or let's say pharma basics, be there helps a lot. And innovation to the core, and it's a place of continuous learning wherein you most of the time are getting one or the other certifications, or knowing about what are the best practices, not only in pharma industry but even in other industries, to ensure you're able to implement those for yourself. So these are the ways you can go for growth in GCCs. Look for the roles that you can be looking at, that you can be looking for yourself in commercial, R&D, clinical data. I'll be deep diving into further on this in further. As you go up, you can be looking more into, it depends on what your skill set is. Are you an individual contributor and a strategic thinker, or you're more of a collaborator who can look at the problem statement, larger problem statement, and ensure that different teams coming together, you can bring that result. Now, all these aspects of working in an organization, individual contributor, or great person who is good in communication and understanding the problem statement and bringing everybody together, or is it that you're a strategic thinker, you can think that, okay, this is the next thing we should be doing. I have looked at. So these are primarily three or four important parts, but it depends from person to person. Of course, we all are doing that bits in certain percentages, always there. But what is your niche? What is that you are good at the end of the day? Not niche, but what is that your strong selling point at the end of the day? So, what is your strategic career move you need to decide on based on what you are good at, on what is the role which is best suited for you. So, how your licenses degree can fit in different roles in commercial operations, and marketing, that combines scientific knowledge with business skills to drive marketing and strategy and product success. In pharmacovigilance, focusing on safety post market, so strong analytical and regulatory skills are required. Regulatory affairs manage compliance with health authorities to ensure product meet global regulatory standards. Clinical research and operations involves planning and executing clinical trials, coordinating investigators, and protocol adherence. Medical affairs and writing, bridging science and communication, supporting education, publications, and health engagement. Digital analytics, using data science and technology to optimize healthcare processes and improve patient outcomes. So, looking into the commercial roles, these are the different kind of commercial roles can be there. Now, starting from for anyone for looking for commercial roles in GCCs could be from digital marketing analyst role, which is more to how looking at the data and how you can optimize the global campaigns and enhance healthcare professionals engagement, which is more to do with content engagement, and also understanding different platform, start to understanding to the likes of different platforms, like how SFMC campaign works, how does different website is created, and how the content is curated at the same omni-channel message across digital, print, and in-person channel to improve customer experience. Followed by marketing operations and compliance. Marketing operations is about managing campaigns, resources, and timelines. Then competitive intelligence is more to do with looking into the sales and doing the market research. Now, these are very segmented, but although these commercial roles are highlighted in the context of GCCs, but they are very, very, very much relevant today for any Indian pharma company as well. Because with AI and more digital savvy HCPs, most of the pharma companies, Indian pharma companies, are also having these roles and wanting people who are very hardworking and digital enthusiasts with pharma backgrounds, people be driving these kind of roles and be there to ensure great communication, or to ensure a consistency of the communication. And the end goal is the sale, right? The product sale needs to happen, and you need to ensure that you're meeting the customer requirement through that. So, certain example for the first jobs that you can have in different roles. Commercial can be for digital marketing analyst, digital can be for digital management associate, pharmacovigilance for digital safety associate, regulatory affairs, you can have submission associate, clinical research, clinical data coordinator, medical affairs, medical writers. So these are the starting points. So if you're very good in, let's say, understanding pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and you know what you can completely let's say have the knack for writing down certain contents, so which has some technical language, because you need to have you need to have knack for writing, and at the same time understanding that technical verbatim as well, and how those need to be used. So you can start your you can be looking for a career in starting career as a medical writer also. Or uh, if you can study the clinical data and you know that what it takes in the clinical research, then you can be looking at the clinical data coordinator role. So these roles do exist. I would not be commenting on the scale of it, that how many roles are there for each one, because these are GCCs. At the end of the day, opportunities are not like they are many. But if you are somebody who is driven towards that, then you should be exploring these. So what you need to be looking at when you're building your toolkit for employability, you must at least, if not completely, but must be knowing about the different regulatory bodies and what are their roles, and how they define that what you can do's and don'ts for communication with HCPs, and or for that matter in public or with the patient, consent management, what do because today now there is so much communication going to HCPs, right? Or information is available, how you're consuming that information. Are you taking consent for consuming that information? What are the regulatory guidelines when it comes to the US FDA's talk about, or for the UK it is MHRA, for India it is CDSCO. So these, at least these top markets, if you know these markets, you would be knowing most of it, and you would be in a good space. And having that spoken about the technical foundation, your digital superpower lies with so today lies with how good you are with Power BI or Tableau, Advanced Excel. Viva and Salesforce are something which I believe that you would be knowing only when you would be knowing details of it only when, because there are systems at the end of the day you need to have your account, and when you start to work on them. But if you go online, you can search for their content in the ACP engagement. You're looking for their YouTube on YouTube for their videos. So at least you have an idea that how the CRM operates, how Viva operates. So at least your superpower, you would be preparing yourself for tomorrow by going through in your early days only, by going through these contents and at least knowing them, if not thoroughly, but at the basic level. But building that digital superpower is very important, I would say. A career differentiator, of course, you need to be collaborating with global teams working in different time zones. Your communication skills have to be are something which have to be very very good at the end of the day, because that communication helps in solving any problem for that matter. Even if you're not able to understand, communicating that to your stakeholders so that they can put an effort in ensuring that you are able to understand the problem statement in the right way is also important. So over communication is always better than no communication or less communication, I would say. And career prospects, of course, the numbers look huge by the end of it in the leadership role, but at the starting 0 to 2 years of it, entry level can be between 6 to 10 lakhs, and from the mid to top, it can be more than 60 lakhs per annum as well. But the important bit is, yeah, getting in there and finding your niche, that finding the area where you are good at. So that is the most critical bit. And because I myself know people who started in one GCCs, and in very early days in their career, after the after marketing course, and they are in leadership position today. So having spent that much time in in this industry, I have certain examples of people traveling this journey through. So, what are the five essential steps in GCC career growth? I think most important bit is self-assessment. Um, it's just not relevant, by the way, for GCC career growth, but generally for any career, wherever you want to make your career, as either in marketing or in content operation, commercial operations, regulatory. This is or in Indian pharma companies or in healthcare management. I think these are the essential steps, not only for everyone to be looking at when they're looking at the for career path towards growth. So one is most important bit is self assessment. uh, what where your competency lies, right? Which are the areas, which is what are the things you like, and which are the areas that you are really good at. So that self assessment is important. There are self assessment tools available also, which you can use to ensure that which you can use to get an idea about that, hey, where is my competency, or probably if I like something, what I need to do for building onto it also. Hey, I want to be good into let's say digital marketing, but then what are the three things that I need to do? I want to be doing it, but I don't know what I need to do. So that self assessment is important, so that you know the next step, what would it take to get there. Fundamental learning, master the core knowledge on the GXPs, safety standards, regional guidelines for credibility, uh, to ensure that your basics are in place when you're looking for opportunities out there. Digital skills are important, gaining certifications, doing certain courses in digital marketing, learning Excel to build on your digital proficiencies are important. Strategic networking is very important. LinkedIn has become a very important tool where you can reach out to industry, let's say peers, or also people with the more experience for mentorship, or gaining industry insights, or gaining insights into other industries, what is happening there. So this, of course, there's a lot of noise there, there's a lot of content there, but you can choose what one or two which you like, and so that you're able to understand the space much better in pharma, that what are the trends, or what can be happening in next 10 years, and from where I can get that insights, who are the people I should be networking with to to ensure that in the long run, I'm building a stable career in life sciences space. So networking is very crucial and important. I think courses courses like pharma marketing helps a lot in building those networks as well, because your peers would be the future leaders as you grow and you grow along. So it's important that building these networks from the early days help. So smart job application, tailor your resume based on what role you're applying for, which domain are you applying for. So it should not be like one resume, and which you are like, which is fitting to all the opportunities, because fortunate because there are many people who apply for a certain role. So you need, for the employer to be employer has many opportunities. So how does your job application stand out? He or she may not be reading into your resume to find out, okay, he has done this role as well. You need to match what is the requirement in the job application, uh, the ask in the job application, to what you provide or highlight in your resume. We are not talking about uh, jazzing it up or saying things which you have not done, somebody has not done. We are talking about curating or highlighting the aspects of your resume based on what is the requirement at the in the job application. So this is it from my side. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions that the group has? Dr. Subodh, you're speaking on mute. No worries. What I read a question from
Right.
yeah. I read a question from Nitya. Could you share a typical progression looks like inside a pharma GCC? So this depends on exactly this. So this depends on right where exactly in your career, which domain you're. Let's say if I share my screen again, because, will not share my screen, but where you are starting your career as. Like for example, if you are starting your career, if you're looking for a pharma GCC role in a commercial side of it, it can be as a digital marketing or a digital marketing analyst, right? At analyst position. If you're looking into digital roles, then it could be on data management. If it is pharmacovigilance, it could be drug safety associate or associate drug safety associates. So generally, it would be at the junior level that you're starting as, and sometimes it they ask for like 1 or 2 years of experience as well, honestly. So, but what can help you is doing certain certifications can actually help you. And if you're coming from certain backgrounds where you have studied that in your in your curriculum already on the digital marketing side of it, like for example I mentioned, right, having a good understanding of how the Power BI works or advanced Excel can really help you in entering those roles. So you start as a marketing analyst, then you progress as a senior associate in omnichannel marketing, and then after certain years, because I'm been from the commercial side, so I'll get share that trajectory with you. After that, a certain time you look into entire, not just omnichannel marketing operations for 1 or 2 brands, but you can be looking at the content operations at the larger scale for multiple brands, or and you could be owning up certain applications as well. That what happens, let's say on Viva, uh, across all the brands, and I'm in the leadership position to decide that what how do we pick that, right? So that is the career progression, and that's how you move to the leadership roles. And beyond that is looking at the entire digital landscape. And because generally these roles are sitting in the global, let's say wherever the headquarters is, but there is always an extended uh, extension, let's say, to the likes, to the parallels of it in India as well. So if I'm like for example, if Nitya is the global person who is at the who is looking at the digital operations globally, but these operations are executed in India, so there'll be a parallel to it, somebody in India also who would be ensuring that all these things are executed, and at the same time strategically aligning as well, that is that a right thing to do or not. So this is how it works. I hope I've been able to answer your questions.
I think so. It is kind of contributing towards a global decision making also.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Great, great. So, so I think that's it in the chat box. I couldn't find any other questions. So anyone, yeah. So there is one question from Srirang Kokat. As I hold experience of 4 years in healthcare business, D2C, and self-employed and looking to enter the GCCs. What would my career look like? Will it be like a fresher or an experienced professional? It's a very important question actually.
Yeah, I mean, Srirang, I think would you want to position yourself? If I had 4 years of experience, I will never call myself a fetcher. Even if there's a friend of mine, I'll just cite this because many a things you gain with not with experience, but just being confident enough that you can do it. You have learned something while working in healthcare business, even if it is knowing about one customer. So you know a lot more than many other people do not. And of course, everybody is capable of learning. So, but do not say that you do not have any experience. Always take that learning from that experience. But what you need to do is look for the right fitment. How do you fit that experience of 4 years rightly into an opportunity that is in the pharma GCC? You cannot be calling out, I have 4 years of experience in healthcare business direct to customer. What were the learnings from that which fits a certain requirement that you need to tailor, so that when an employer is looking at your resume, they can see, they can resonate with your 4 years experience, that yeah, his experience is relevant out here, right, in certain ways, by learning these xyz things, or understanding that what are the patient behaviors, let's say if it is about a regulatory roles, or how self medication, certain scenarios you can highlight. So it depends on how you build onto your uh, mm, build onto your resume rather, and your communication in during that entire. So that's why I was saying, right, it's most important bit is, first step is self assessment, and then last step is curating your resume to the job application, so that they see what the relevance your application brings in.
Yeah, great. So, continuing with the same question, I had something that popped up in my mind. So, what about, see, life sciences means we have many candidates or many students who are joined us who might have or who has a life sciences background. So, what about that shift? Maybe something like a career shift from this scientific background to more like a business oriented shift. This is more like business oriented positions, many of them.
Business, or that's what. So I think if I was a pharma grad, honestly, I've been in this scenario. Mosimi Gogoi has shared a question as well. I'll come to that. But I've been in myself in that scenario. I did BTech in biotechnology, and then I was looking for opportunity, having come from the life sciences background, and but looking for business roles in business opportunities, and I knew that my niche would be on the marketing side of it, not on the research side. So I went for marketing course in pharma, uh, and from there I was working in consultancies, and you've seen that I work in, and then working in consultancy, which is you get labor, it's people, you may start to think, many think that okay, I worked in an agency, like to the likes what Shirang was saying, that hey, I'm in certain space, 4 years experience. So I was in a space where I had 4 years of experience in consulting, in agency, working in agency, and then there is a role in a MNC for new product launch. um, of course, it was at associate level. I was not being hired as a product manager, having 4 or 5 years of experience. So, but at the same time, I needed to take my agency experience to them and sell it out and call it out, that what I learned could be benefiting for this new product launch journey, and how I'm well prepared for these kind of opportunities than anyone else. So uh, how we tailor ourselves to a certain role is, and what we want to do is very important, and we need to explore. Of course, we do not need to tie ourselves to, let's say if we are from research, we stay in research. Find out what you want to do as well. Sometimes you may not be knowing the skills, but skills can be learned, right? You can be in research and be interested in a marketing course, or you can be, but other way around is difficult. You can be from marketing, nobody can go into life sciences and start to learn about clinical research. The other way around, it happens quite often. Biotech background with 4 years. I think with research backgrounds, you can be looking into the roles, Mosami, in these GCCs, and many companies. I'm not too sure actually. are you looking for opportunities in research? So if you're looking for those, probably most important bit is that look for regulatory roles, pharmacovigilance sort of roles, data mining roles, clinical research trial associate roles. These are the kind of roles. Or if you're from completely research background, you can be looking in the role of marketing writing or medical writing as well. It can be at the initial stage, but then it goes into the regulatory writing, clinical trial writing. There are different forms of it, and then you can progress up from there as well. Like if you're looking at a role in staying more towards the clinical side of things and not going into commercial.
Right. There is another question from Sheetal.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
is
there
there
any
any
freelancer?
freelancing career opportunities for the pharma students?
Honestly, freelancing, I'm not too sure. I am not in, I have not worked as a freelancer for pharma student. Like when I was in that space, and could be, you can always try. There's no harm in trying. I do not know. Uh, there are platforms like, you may know, you guys, Gen Zs are much more well versed than I would be, but on this aspect. But like for example, to the likes of Intershala, right? Sorry, not Internshala, wherein people get 1 to 2 months of, let's say, internships. See, more than freelancing, it's good, but I think most important bit is for pharma students, when you are as a student studying, is doing trying to do certain projects along with your certification, like marketing courses, because that's how you stand out. That, okay, not standing out, but that's how you learn about what's happening in the market as well. And if you make money for it, nothing like it. I was doing that, and I made that too as a freelance, but I do not know. And it was more like a research sort of, that we would be going to certain hospitals and finding out, so getting, gathering certain data. Most important bit, I was very authentic to it, and very ethical. Not even one questionnaire I nudged, or one questionnaire, hey, I can fill these questions. I know what 10 doctors would say. I went for those calls. I took a note of all the answers, so that you understand what's happening in the market, and at the end, understand what it takes for that doctor's interview as well, right? There are many nuanced pieces to it. So of course, we did some freelancing project. You can do some freelancing project, but it happens, like you're paid or not paid is a different aspect of it. But important is that you should be doing it. Like these industry projects help you gain insights into any industry that you are working in. So students should definitely do some projects.
Yeah, great. So I think we are already running late with respect to the, yeah. So maybe one,
Okay, my
maybe
question
we
was,
can,
do
uh,
I? Yeah, exactly. So that is very personal choice. Honestly, I could have gotten, if I could have got a better, probably hike somewhere else, and I chose that. It's very personal, Srirang. What is the opportunity that lies? I would say that, um, if it is a GCC, take the low pay. But if you're not sure, take what you think is the right price for you. And generally, I feel specifically GCCs, because it is MNCs, they have certain level, they would not be paying you very less. The starting package is generally decent enough. It would not be, rather than, it can be the consulting companies or Indian pharma companies where packages starting is low. But mostly when you're working for the global companies, the starting is generally better off. Or like for up for 4 years of experience, they would be giving you, because they have those standard set, that if I'm hiring somebody as a junior associate, that I need to be paying him this much. Just because he's somebody who's requiring, they would not nudge you, to the lowest band. So generally, farm MNCs pay better that is the trend, but things are changing. See, there are two sides to it. On the one side, Indian pharma, if we look in India, uh, pharma GCCs are expanding, which means the global operations are coming to India. But if you look at MNC's footprint in pharma companies to the likes of, let's say, Novo Nordisk, AstraZeneca, or Sanofi, all the company or Torrent, all the sorry, not Torrent, but these companies, or what is happening is complete transformation in terms of restructuring. Many people are losing their jobs. They are not 8,000 people were from Novo Nordisk were taken out. Then certain transformation wave will happen, and then there will be rehiring also. It's not that the hiring stops, but it's a two-way street. So MNC's footprint in India is going down. Uh, at the same time, Indian farmers, because they are becoming very aggressive in marketing with certain tie-ups with on weight loss management. So they need more visibility for the on the sales side of it or marketing side of it. So they are hiring more. So it's like a push and pull. Like somewhere something happens and there is an butterfly effect sort of, that one change happens and then there's another effect of it somewhere else. So you need to work out how the space works for you.
Right, right. Yeah,
I hope, Srirang, I've been able to answer your question, and all the very best for your search.
right. Yeah. So I think time's up for us. So
Thank
thank
you.
you all. Thank you all for joining us today. We truly appreciate your time, engagement, and of course the curiosity, the questions throughout this session. A special thanks to Miss Veda Rana for
Thank
sharing
you.
such valuable insights. Of course, that evolves the opportunities of life sciences graduates in India's Pharma GCC. So the perspectives definitely have helped us to better understand the skills, the mindsets, the emerging career paths shaping the industry today. So wishing you all the very best in your academic and professional journeys. Thank you all once again, and have a wonderful day ahead.
I see one question from Hema Thakkar. What's your viewpoint on for management background?
Okay.
Management background, I think, how do I put? I feel it's a great way to learn the nuances of marketing, which we are not learning uh, when when we are doing our graduations, grads, and our communication skills improve a lot with having those opportunities and working in certain time frames on certain presentations. And it's just not about pharma. It's all about, let's say, understanding the consumer behavior, customer behavior, nuances of it. And it is not just marketing. So it can be also for the supply chain as well, management or something else. So I think any course helps. We need every course helps us in learning something. We need to pick the right course for us first of all, and then be thoroughly authentic to it and ensure that we find what's in best for best for us to learn from it. I hope I've been able to answer your question. He might was quite kind of very vague as well, but if you have any further questions, any of you, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I would try to address if I can. That's all. Thank you. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
thanks again. Thanks again. So I wish all the very best for all our participants in their academic as well as professional journeys. So thank you once again. Have a wonderful journey ahead.
Bye. Thanks a lot. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you so much, Dr. Subodh, for having me.
yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Veda.